How's everybody doing? I want to welcome everybody. I'm Kevin Beisman, Director of Athletics. I'll tell you, following Saturday night, there was a little bit of discussion about how we should handle today. And after some discussion, we decided we're not here to bury the sorrow of Saturday, but this is a celebration of life. And if you're living a Maverick life, it's a great life. I want to start with a little history lesson. Last weekend was nearly 10 years in the making. 3,647 days to be exact, since Coach Hastings was first introduced in a press conference. Coach, what do you want to do for our 10th anniversary later this week? And what a ride it's been since that first meeting, well documented at a Pizza Ranch in Sheldon, Iowa. That's where it all started. And got to hear Coach lay out his vision about what Maverick hockey could become. And, it all came to fruition from everything that we discussed that day to last weekend playing for a national championship out in Boston. We've come a long way over the last 10 years behind Mike's leadership. We accomplished some things that people said could never be done in Maverick hockey. That having the winningest program over the last decade, a 3-time Coach of the Year, and appearing in 2 consecutive Frozen Fours was just a crazy dream, and that it would never, ever happen. That's a true story. Someone actually said that about our program. In fact, I was told this in our annual WCHA meetings in the spring of 2010, ironically by an unnamed Denver University administrator. You see, he took it upon himself to lecture me for 10 minutes, in front of a room full of my professional peers, noting that we lacked the type of commitment to ever be successful in hockey. The following year, he and some of his friends broke away to form the NCHC as the college hockey landscape began to shift dramatically. I got a long memory. So I stand here before you tonight, and I would finally like to respond to that boardroom beatdown more than 10 years ago, with some words I borrowed from the immortal Toby Keith. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing. But I would like to say, how do you like me now? Now that we're on our way, do you still think I'm crazy standing here today? So with that, let's get a little crazy tonight and celebrate a season for the record books. Let's get the party started and bring up the voice of the Mavericks, Mike Sullivan.
Thank you, Kevin. This is for you guys tonight. There's no way we're going to end this season without coming back to this crowd and having something to say to you guys. I remember it was not always like this here. When I first came back in 2000, you wanted to go to the Civic Center in Wisconsin. You wanted the best hockey outlook in terms of fans, band, interaction. I would tell people, you got to go to Wisconsin if you want to see what the hockey really looks like for a home crowd. And in terms of a program that traveled on the road, it was always North Dakota. But I look at things now, I didn't see too many Fighting Hawks in Albany a couple of weeks ago. They weren't filling it all up. And people I know over in Wisconsin at the Civic Center, they say it's not like it used to be. But it's like that here now. I'll tell you what, I had the good fortune of being able to get off the bus for the championship game and follow the players and coaches up into the building and through the courtyard. You walk on the red carpet up the stairs, and there was nothing but Maverick fans wall to wall. It was loud. It was crazy. People were hollering out, slapping you on the back, screaming out your name, screaming at the players. I'm not even a player. I was getting jacked up. But I'll tell you what, I'll never forget that. That's in my top moments since I've been here in terms of crowds. So you can forget about Wisconsin. You can go away, North Dakota, move aside. We got it right here in Mankato. The best band, the best crowds, the best atmosphere, and you guys make it go. I think we learned that as a collective group during the COVID year, when suddenly there was a great big quiet hole in games in here and on the road. But it's not like that now. I think the only good thing that came out of the COVID year was I got a chance to watch Jack McNeely and Reggie Lutz play another year. Well, it's time to get some official people up here. We've got the mayors of both Mankato and North Mankato waiting in the wings. They're going to come up here. If you want to start your stroll, this is how you get your 10,000 steps in a day. We want to welcome both the mayors, the Mankato Mayor Najwa Masad and the City of North Mankato Mayor Mark Dean. I know they come to Maverick games, so they know their way around here, and they're going to get up here, and they've got a proclamation here. So please give them a nice round of applause, Mayors Masad and Dean.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, welcome, welcome. But I need to address the young gentlemen that are behind me. Mavericks, you were awesome. Every single one of you, you were awesome. Seriously, you weren't here, but the vibe in Mankato, it was shaking and it was rocking, and the people here were all cheering you on. You know, the outcome was not what we wanted, but you know what? You could not have made this community more proud than they did that night. Seriously. Yes. And just one other special thank you, Coach Hastings. Thank you so much for a season that was unbelievable. Thank you for mentoring these young men, and thank you for letting them have a year they will never forget for the rest of their life. So sincerely, thank you. Thank you, Mankato. Thank you, citizens. You are awesome.
I also want to offer our congratulations. We're really proud of everyone. We're proud of the team successes and all the individual successes that made this such a wonderful year. And most importantly, we are so grateful for the Mavericks putting Mankato, North Mankato, Greater Mankato area on the national hockey map. You really represented us well on the national stage, and we are so thankful and grateful for that.
So now we have a proclamation that we would like to read between the North Mankato and Mankato mayors and the cities of Mankato and North Mankato. So the proclamation reads, I'm going to try to so you can read it too. You got that? All right, there you go. Whereas the Minnesota State men's hockey team won 5-1 over Minnesota to get the NCAA Frozen Four championship game for the first time in program history, and
whereas the Mavericks head coach, Mike Hastings, was the recipient of the Spencer Penrose Award that is presented to the top coach in Division I men's hockey, and
the Minnesota State senior goalie Dryden McKay won the Hockey Baker Award that as the top player in the NCAA Division I men's hockey, and
whereas Maverick hockey has been the primary tenant of the Civic Center since 1995-96 season and is home to the best college hockey fan base in America.
Yes, absolutely. Now, therefore, I, Najwa Masad, Mayor of the City of Mankato,
and Mark Dean, Mayor of the City of North Mankato,
in the state of Minnesota, hereby proclaim Monday, April 2022, as Maverick Hockey Day
in the cities of Mankato and North Mankato to honor, recognize, and congratulate Mankato State men's hockey team and invite all residents to show their support of Minnesota State hockey by wearing purple and gold.
In witness hereof, we have hereunto signed our names and caused the seals of the cities of Mankato and North Mankato to be affixed this 11th day of April 2022. Congratulations, Mavericks.
Thank you, Mayors. We certainly appreciate the support of the greater Mankato area, the cities of Mankato and North Mankato, and we'll excuse them as they're off to do official city business now for the rest of the evening. But it's now my pleasure to introduce President Inch. But before I do, I want to say the type of success that we enjoy in Maverick Athletics is simply not possible without the commitment of outstanding university administration. Last year, our university experienced a transition in leadership as longtime President Richard Davenport passed the puck to new President Dr. Edward Inch. Before we bring up President Inch, I want to first acknowledge President Davenport, as he invested heavily in making Maverick hockey the success that it is today. He recognized the positive public relations value that a strong, nationally reputable hockey program could have for the university, and was a key factor in helping to recruit and retain Coach Hastings and in facilitating our program's move into the CCHA. I don't know if they're here tonight, but thank you, President Davenport. It was great to see you and Mary out in Boston cheering on the Mavericks last weekend. But we knew we had another winner coming on board when President Inch turned up in Pittsburgh at the Frozen Four some 3 full months before he would start officially as the president here at Minnesota State. During his first 9 months here, President Inch has become a very familiar face all across campus, including at lots and lots of Maverick athletic events. Coming from his last stop in California, I'm not sure he could have quite imagined braving the snow and cold that came with Hockey Day Minnesota. But there he was, smiling broadly in that big purple fuzzy hat, as our campus and community took center stage and became the capital of the state of hockey for 2 weeks in January. We are indeed fortunate for the type of leadership President Inch has brought to Minnesota State. So committed that he was to the student experience that he sent not only 25 members of the Maverick Machine out to Boston, but also our cheer team, mascot, and several members of the MSU Reporter, so that they could also enjoy the experience right alongside the Maverick hockey team. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome President Inch to the podium.
Wow, he said that really nicely. You know, our introduction to Mavericks hockey was at the Frozen Four last year, and what an experience it was. I mean, there were only 200 of our supporters there because we're all in COVID bubble, and they yelled so loud it made the arena resonate. Nothing like what we saw, though, this last weekend. You know, that introduction of Mavericks hockey also introduced us to Mavericks athletics. Our athletics program is incredible. And I learned a couple of things early on about our athletics program. One is that our teams represent the best of our students in terms of grade points and graduating, but also their connection to the community and the service that they provide. I couldn't be prouder of what they do in support of our community and in support of our campus. But the other thing that became very apparent after the Frozen Four, and more apparent after we got here, is how much our community and our athletic programs are connected. You all come out and support our teams. You all come out and fill this arena many times. It's an impressive sight, but more importantly, it's an impressive feeling. And that feeling is something that resonates whenever you come into one of our events where our athletes are doing their best, where our community is behind them, and when we have our band and our cheer squad and our mascot doing everything they can to get us all on our feet and cheer our team on, and it has worked. What an incredible season we have had, what it shows to what we're able to do as a campus, as a university, and as a community. Last weekend, as Kevin mentioned, was a culmination of a lot of years of work by our players, by our coaches, from our fans, from our community, and our university. And here's what I know. You know, this was a wonderful year. Our games in any athletic sport, but certainly in hockey, bring people together. We share an experience together as a community. We fill this space with people that are cheering our athletes on. That's amazing. Our team's engagement on and off the ice sets such a wonderful example of how important athletics can be to our community, particularly in how they help our youth learn how to skate or swim or the variety of things that we do in our community. This was a special weekend. Our community came to support our program. We filled the arena, and we were really, really loud. Our ice hockey team is a class act, and that's just not me saying that. I got to travel with them to Albany when they met Harvard and Notre Dame, and as we're checking out, the staff at the hotel said, wow, your team is a class act. And that's because they exhibit everything you would hope our athletes would exhibit on the ice and in public. They are truly outstanding. Also, what I think represented us so well is we had our band there. That was important. They got us going. So to our band, to the director, Michael, thank you. And our cheer squad was there, led by Ashley. If you're back there, I think. And thank you for being there. And Stomper came with them to help get the crowd riled up. I got to meet Stomper and his dad, and Stomper was not in full uniform, so I wasn't allowed to take pictures. But to all of you, you made a difference. It made it feel almost like a home game. And, you know, I appreciate that. Even when we got to the red carpet entrance, particularly before the final match, our supporters were 4 and 5 deep along the red carpet. One of our more elderly supporters climbed up the outside of an escalator so that he could get a better look. Not a good plan. I mentioned that to him. But what a class act our team is. After the game on Saturday, I got a very nice note from our chancellor. He wrote, I'm so proud of the team. They accomplished a lot this year. They've set a wonderful role model. They've laid a ground foundation for the future teams to emulate. They represented our system well. They represented our state well. One of our trustees wrote, I'm beyond jealous that you get to be there and I don't. I am so proud of our team. One of our university supporters that I've been working with, before the first game against Minnesota, he told me, you know, I'm just really nervous for the team. Frozen Four is hard. I'm really anxious, really nervous. And, you know, we start, and before the second period, I said, how are the nerves? He says, I'm still pretty nervous. I'm really pulling for the team, but I'm nervous. I'm anxious. Before the third period, when we're looking really good, he said, I'm nervous, but it's getting better. Before the final match on Saturday, I said, well, how are the nerves tonight? And he says, they're good. We've accomplished a lot. I'm good. We've showcased ourselves well. I'm so proud of our team. But probably the most moving thing that I got was from a fellow president in our system. And Saturday night, he wrote me, today, all of Minnesota is Maverick. That was the feeling you had in the arena. Everyone in our state was Maverick that night. A sense of pride. It was such a sense of pride, such a feeling of positive energy that it is tough to explain. So I want to say thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for all of your support. And to our team, thank you for representing us. You're honestly a class act, and I could not have hoped for better. I would now like to introduce a video by our student leadership. They're in the middle of an election, and so while I think they would like to have been here tonight, they're busy getting ready to figure out who our next president and student leadership are going to be. So there'll be a video message, and I just want to say one last thing that I come away with such a powerful feeling at the end of all of this is go Mavs. Couldn't be prouder.
Welcome back, Maverick. Student Body President Reed Anderson and Student Body Vice President Karen Sparso here, and we just want to congratulate you on an amazing season. You guys played hard all year long, and we know it makes such a huge difference for students to be able to watch you every Friday and Saturday night. And personally, we cannot wait to see you guys back on the ice next fall.
Well, there's certainly a lot of parts that run hockey programs. Obviously, funding is a huge thing, and the lifeline, you hear about golf tournaments during the summer and various things that go on throughout the community to help fundraising for athletics. Hockey's no different. One of the things you'll find is support groups that are there made of people that are huge fans of Maverick hockey. The Blue Line Club is one of those. It's one of the most popular. Jason Beal is here. He's the president of the Blue Line Club. He's going to talk about things that you can find out if you've never been a member of the Blue Line Club, how you can become one here. Please give a round of applause here for Jason Beal.
Thanks, Ollie. I just have to tell you, I lost my voice in Boston, so bear with me. Actually, I think I started talking like I'm a little bit too. We've heard a lot about the fans tonight, and it's truly about you guys. It's about the guys we watch. The Blue Line Club has been proud supporters of Maverick hockey ever since the choice to go to Division I. The best thing that could have happened to Mankato. The purpose of the club is to promote and provide the resources for the men's and women's hockey programs, and we can't do that without the fans. Our membership has grown real nicely over the years, and right now, with what the team has been doing, it's grown at exponential rates. And so thank you for everybody that's part of the program. Over the 10 years, we've seen them bring home these trophies. You know, we got conference championships, we got league championships, we got 2 Frozen Four appearances. The program is going the right direction, and it's all because we have a great team. We have great guys on this team, coaches, Mike Hastings, Todd Connaught, Paulie Kirtland, and all their staff. They put this stuff together for us. And what I want to say more than likely is just as fans, I saw this in Boston. Everybody, and I'm echoing what everybody's going to say tonight, everybody became a Maverick. And it was absolutely unbelievable to watch. The Blue Line Club has tried to be an advocate to support the program in different ways. You know, with the Civic Center renovations, we look around right now, we see a 4-sided scoreboard, we see purple seats, we see banners on the walls. This is everything from the support that comes in through the different people that support our program. A couple of things this last year, 2021, we saw the Frozen Four appearance for the first time. It was an incredibly special time under the circumstances with dealing with COVID. This January, we saw Hockey Day Minnesota, which was a historic event. What I really would like to do is, talk about the guys. I bleed purple and gold. You guys bleed purple and gold. This team is absolutely fantastic. I've gotten to know them personally. I'm going to miss them. I'm really sad right now to see them go. I'm excited for our future. I want to thank them for what they've brought to our building, what they brought to us. The Blue Line Club is made up of volunteers. Our board of directors is made up of volunteers. Every day we're trying to do what we can to support the program. We're trying to figure out how can we make this bigger, how can we make this better. The team has done, through inadvertent activities, through the wins, through the special times that they have provided us, has brought things to us that will carry on from here on out. Personally, and on behalf of the board and the membership, I'd like to congratulate Dryden McKay, Hobie Baker Award winner. This is an unbelievable event to somebody that is so deserving. We look at the records that have been broken. We look at how last year went, the finalists. I mean, he has done absolutely everything that he could, and he deserved to win this award. And so that to bring it home, thank you, Dryden. Wherever he's hiding. We've seen things happen in this with these guys because they get that intimate look into it. We have Wyatt Ahmed, right? I've been messing it up lately. He's a finalist for the 2022 Derek Hines Unsung Hero Award. I mean, this is something that's very special to show what the guys are doing, not only on the ice, but off of the ice. And I sincerely would like to thank Coach Mike Hastings. Over the past 10 years, he's made us realize how special we are in Mankato at MSU University to bring what he's brought to our team. He is the real deal. Every award that he has won, he has deserved it. And Mike, thank you for everything that you do. And mostly, the Blue Line Club could not function without the support from MSU. We have Kevin Beisman, we have Greg Weiss, we have Scott Nelson, Rick Straka. Everything comes together as a team behind the scenes. So thank you guys for what you do. And last but not least, always fans, thank you. You guys are here today. You were here Saturday, Thursday. Again, I apologize for my voice. I was screaming my head off. And normally I'd be pulling raffle tickets for prizes at our pregame event. So I apologize for that. But I'm going to end this with one thing. Go Mavs.
Fun to watch those highlight reels. When they make one up for the entire season, I can't wait to see. I saw those games where 3 goals in 90 seconds. The hat tricks we saw this year. Some of the amazing stuff that happened in this building. So that if they ever put out a best of video, they'd have a lot of stuff to put on it. Well, it's time for me to introduce the head coach for MSU. I've known Mike now for 10 years, and everything you've heard people say about him up here tonight, very true. He's transformed this program. It wasn't a bad program before, but we didn't seem to be gaining traction. Mike came in, took over, and started to win immediately. I had people that would see me on the road, other broadcasters, other people, they'd go, well, what's going on there? What's turning it around? What's the secret? I go, it's not a secret. I go, Mike instills in the players, they're responsible for each other. They care about each other. Everybody cares for each other as a group. And it's true. They're responsible for each other. It's something that has made this program tick. The winningest program in college hockey over the last decade. Got stopped a game short this year, but I can tell you it's not if Minnesota State will ever win a national title. It's only when, and it's going to be sooner than later. These last few years have crept closer and closer, and we were within 20 minutes on Saturday night. And I know a great disappointment for the guys, but we'll talk about the season here in a little bit. For Coach Hastings, again, he brings up, I think he brings out the best in everybody he's around. I can truthfully say just a great hockey coach. He's, I think, one of the great human beings I've met, and I can extend that down to the coaching staff, Connaught and Coach Connaught and Kirtland and Coach Blue that was here up until now. These are some of the finest people I've known. Tremendous coaches, tremendous program. Let's give this guy a great round of applause. He's been the coach of the year now 3 times, the last 2 in a row. MSU head coach Mike Hastings.
Thanks, Sully. Don't worry, Wyatt. You'll get your chance. First of all, thank you for everybody showing up. And you know what? How special the group is behind me, I'll get to in just a minute. You know what? There's one person I've got to thank more than anybody else for all of this being able to happen. And it's because I got permission to move to Mankato from my beautiful wife, Jean-Ann. That's the quietest you've seen her in a long time, for those that know her. And Hannah, my daughter, who's sitting right by her, thanks for being here. But most importantly, we're here to talk about the team. And when you talk about special, I could sit up here for an hour and read you a thesaurus about what they started and what the journey was for us coaches, as well as you as fans, administration, the university, and the ride they took us on. And I want to share just a couple of things with you. So yesterday, you know, we get back here. I think we ended up getting in with the band and our entire, you know, a lot of our administration and friends, family, and the players, I think about 5:30 in the morning. And for those that are a part of hockey, once your season gets done, it's amazing how fast the page gets turned, and your players have to make some significant decisions on what they're going to be doing. Are they coming back? Are they signing? Where are they going to be? Not only maybe tomorrow or the next day, but for the following year. And so I get home and take a little nap, and I get a text, and one of our players, Nathan Smith, just said, "Hey, Coach, is there any way you could get to the office?" Luke Regner's the one that helped, and just said, "Hey, you know what, I've got to sign my NHL contract. I'm going to be getting on a plane later on that day, Sunday, and head to Phoenix." And said, "Absolutely, I'd love to." He goes, "They need a witness for the contract." And so just got in the shower, grabbed some things, and came to the rink. And as I walked in the doors that are in front of me, the people into the Don Bros facility, I wasn't expecting what I saw. I walk in, and our entire team's in there. Nathan Smith's at a table. Go ahead. Now, for those I sometimes make nervous when I get a mic in front of my hand, I'm usually more honest than I should be. I will tell you there were a few that were missing and were just a little bit late as they were paying their check over at Rounders. And that was our senior group. They didn't invite anybody else. But I will tell you, you know, prideful. But that's what this group's all about. They've been that way since day one. And it's been a tremendous ride. That's one of the many stories that I can tell you. Our leadership group, and there are too many to single off at a time, and Wyatt's going to have an opportunity to come up here as our captain. But one thing that's been special about our Maverick family as a team over the years, going all the way back to Uriah Hayes, helping me grow up as a coach, me probably putting a little too much on his plate, and year in and year out, our leadership groups find different ways to guide teams to special places. and you look at where we started and where we're at now, it doesn't happen without leadership. And that goes from President Davenport to now the torch being with President Inch and our administration, and Rick and Kevin and Kent. And then I start looking about everything else that we talk about. When we start to recruit a young man, and I'll go into the recruiting process here in just a little bit and give credit where credit is due. One thing we talk about, and we ask these guys every time somebody walks into our program, when they go through the recruiting process, we put them in front of this group. We drop them off at their place. The next morning at workout, we get together and the staff starts walking around. We ask them, do you want them to be a Maverick? Are they worthy of being a Maverick? And it's become something that's pretty special because these guys take care of each other from start to finish. And I just think it's something that's incredibly special. And for us to be able to continue to climb the mountain, we're going to need that to continue. And we're going to keep putting it on their plate. But with that, I want to say thanks to a few different things here. One, my staff. You know, we've had some turnover. Darren Blue decided to go do something, and I'm excited for him and what he's doing right now. And we added Paulie Kirtland, but I do want to say first and foremost, hockey coaches are good when they have good players. When Dryden McKay decided to come here, all of a sudden, we started winning a lot more hockey games. And so coaches go nowhere without their players. And it's hard to do on a consistent basis. And I truly believe this, and for those that know him, you understand, and these guys understand it because he has had a hand in recruiting every single one of the guys that are sitting up here. And I just want to make sure and recognize, I think, one of the best and one of the, I think, hottest commodities on the market. We're fortunate we have them for as long as we have. We hope that continues, but we understand that sometimes birds have to spread their wings and go fly in their own direction, and we will support that when it happens, but we're going to try and keep them here as long as we can. But I do want to have Todd Connaught please stand up and say thank you. I want to say congratulations to the next guy because he just started his family and introduced Paulie Kirtland. And Colleen, I don't know if you're both here. I hope you are, his wife. And well, I'd like to say this. We've got the best widget in the world. And what I mean by that, this guy does everything. And he does it with class. He does it with humility. And if there's anybody that's wearing purple and gold underwear every day, my man Luke Regner. To round out our group, Tommy Inkrot's right back here. Tommy. Matt Schmidt and Scotty Rideout. That's our crew. That's our band. Another little story, but this one's about you people. And just want to say thanks and share a little story that the people at the NCAA were kind enough to share with me after I got to the top of the stairs at the red carpet. You know, the individual, Ty Halpin, with the NCAA, which we hope we continue to see that because that means we're at the dance. You know, he grabbed me and he goes, I just want to let you know in our entire time that we have been hosting Frozen Fours, that's the most incredible experience I've seen from a team bring to this tournament. So hats off to you. A couple other thanks would be somebody that makes this place very special on game nights. And I want to tip my hat and say thank you to making it the way you do. These guys appreciate you so much. There's a reason they come down and recognize you after every game. And I just want to say thank you to the Maverick Machine. trouble that we know? Michael, are you up there? Where are you? Swing his arm. Michael, stand up, please. Hey, couple of things. Another little story, and Michael might remember this. We're up in our office, Todd Connaught, myself, our staff. We're up there, and he goes, "Coach, do you know the band's downstairs? They're practicing." And so I got up, and he goes, "You know what I think?" And it was Todd's idea. I wish I could take it, but as most good ones, they're his. He just said, he goes, "You know what? I think it'd be good to go out." So I went out, and I was listening to Mike with the headset on. And what Michael said, he says, "Hey, the team you're performing for is one of the best teams in the country. And so we've got to be one of the best bands in the country supporting them." And leadership just doesn't happen. It starts at the top. And with you, I want to tell you how happy I am to say that we get to play in front of you and have you represent us. So thank you to that. The second thing is this. I did hear a little rumor that you're going to be able to teach me how to body surf across a crowd. And I'm going to hold you to that. The problem is the crowd's going to have to be pretty strong. Again, going back to being special, this started a while ago. For those that couldn't make it out, the connectivity that we have right now, we've never had before at the level that we have it because of a relationship we have with Bethany. And there's one guy, Greg Vandermoos, that I think just epitomizes special. Doesn't want to have a lot of the credit, but for all of you people that are more adept at being in social media than myself, wow, do we rock it. Pretty impressive, and I want to say to Greg, thank you for all the work and all of the people that have legged in, all the students and what you put out, and being able to tell the story and giving a little bit of a window into how special the group is behind me by allowing you to see a little bit behind the scenes, I think has allowed us to share some of the experiences that you've seen when you haven't been able to be there. So I wanted to make sure and recognize him. Our leadership group, Amat, Lutzi, Mac, everybody else that has had a piece of it. We've always had a theory with our program. You don't have to wear a badge to be a leader. And these guys run that to a T. Different people, different times, carrying the torch. And leadership is something that's been very important from the beginning when I first got here, and I do want to recognize again our administration and the support that we've had from day one, because we can't continue to push the rock up the hill if we don't have the support from the administration. And then that's where you people come in. As much as this is a celebration for what everybody says about this team and our program, you look at the local organizing committee. You look at Hockey Day in Minnesota. You look at the Blue Line Club. You look at what we talked about on the red carpet. You can't fly high if you don't have air underneath your wings. You provide that air. You've allowed us to reach points I didn't believe were possible. I was asked that multiple times at the tournament. Did you ever dream or did you ever envision this program getting to where it's at when you first started? I am going to tell you, I thought about BSing a little bit and saying how smart and the vision that I had about getting it to this point. That wouldn't be true. The administration's allowed myself to be surrounded, as my father told me a long time ago, surround yourself with people better and smarter than you are. I've done that since day one, since I've gotten here. The administration has allowed us to do that. And then everybody has just continued to get on this train with us. Don't get off. Stay with us. I remember my first conversation with our alumni and talking about what our goals were. And it was about getting better every year and keep climbing the mountain. 2 years ago, we got to the first Frozen Four. This year, we got to our first national championship game. And next year's Frozen Four is in Tampa. The thing I'll leave you with is the group behind me and the ones that have come before them have set an expectation level of excellence in the classroom, in the community, and on the sheet ice that we're standing on out here. And I just want to tell you that doesn't get done without a lot of help. So from the team, from the university, all the great things that are going up on the hill, we're hoping all of us continue to grow. It'd be great to see a new stadium up at Blakesley in that area. It'd be great to see our community continue to evolve, because what I have seen happen downtown in this community in the short time that I've been here, in 10 years, from where it was to where it is, we're all growing together. And we're making this a really special community to be a part of. So from our team to you, from our university to everybody, thank you for putting your arms around us and lifting us to new heights. Go Mavs.
We're going to get to hear from the players here in a moment or two, or one in particular. They asked me to talk a little bit about the season, and went into work this morning, and I knew I was going to hear it. You know, you sit in the room, you wait for someone to float down the hall. They see you come in there. Well, that sure ruined the season. Didn't say much. Then you get a few, well, what happened? And it's like, I try to keep those kind of conversations brief with people, because they don't understand. They're not following very closely. They hop on board the bandwagon at the very end, and then they're off it again in a shot. But let's talk about the season a little bit. Far from a bad season, from a major disappointment. Yeah, it hurt to not win that last game. Well, let's go back to the start. There was a lot of talk about what this team could do this year, a lot of expectation. You were hearing it really from the end of last season up until this one started. Coach booked a series out to take on the defending national champs. When they lowered their banner to be national champs, MSU sweeps the weekend series. And that was just a beginning. You take a look at some of the things that they did this season that usually don't happen for most teams. They went into Bemidji, swept them. They swept Duluth in a home-and-home series. You're talking about the high pedigree teams in the league. Duluth nationally, of course. They swept Bowling Green in bowling. They swept Michigan Tech in Houghton. We're not talking about trips to Disneyland here. These are some of the most hostile hockey environments you're going to get into, and they don't like getting beat at home any more than anybody else does. But this team was able to do that this year. 38 wins in the year. That's amazing. School record. Again, a regular season championship, the first year in the new CCHA. They bring back the old trophy. Mavericks win the McNaughton Cup, keep it here at home. Add that trophy, win the postseason, go on to the regional where they run out now over 2 years to a 4-0 mark in the region. Shut out Notre Dame, 1-0 to win that, and then go on to knock the Gophers out for the second straight year. If you're a Maverick fan, you had to like that. Faced a great Denver team, gave them a great test, but came up a little short. But again, as Coach was talking about, it's getting ever closer. And this group is just the latest in a number of teams that have come through here in recent years that are just absolutely outstanding. As players, as student athletes, as people. And I think it would be, if we leave here tonight without letting one of them get up here and say some stuff, we're not doing it right. Let's bring up the captain of this team, 4-year player out of Hermantown. Well, before we do that, though, I do want to mention, obviously, Dryden McKay. Coach mentioned we won a lot of hockey games since Dryden got here. Took a while for other people in the national world to catch on to the fact that maybe Dryden should win an award someday. He's been a Richter finalist for 3 years. This year he won the Hobie Baker Award for Most Valuable Player in College Hockey. It's going to be a long time before we see one of his specialty with the shutout record, with the way he carries himself. I love sitting up there on Friday and Saturday nights because the first guy they'd introduce would be Dryden, and as loud as it already was, Dryden would float out to the blue line, and it was louder yet. Just that kind of stuff. You look at, and Dryden also a Richter finalist again. Wyatt Ahmed, Derek Hines finalist. Again, just representative of the kind of things that these players represent on the ice, off the ice, in the community. They're much loved here. Another thing you look back on this year, how about Hockey Day in Minnesota, which we managed to expand out to about 8 days. And that final night with St. Thomas here, the snowstorm coming up, which had it any other way. It was a wonderful evening, great experience, and it's going to be tough for anybody to beat what we saw in Mankato this year with Hockey Day. But let's bring up Wyatt Ahmed, the captain for the Mavericks. Big round of applause here for this 4-year vet from Hermantown.
All right, sit down. You can thank my barber, Julian, for that one. If anyone needs a haircut, he'll be in the shop later. It's obviously hard to follow up two of the best speakers I've ever heard with Coach and Sully. I can speak for all the guys. We're really excited to see Sully's highlight tapes, not just the ones that we have to see. So, Sully, you're the best. I get asked many times, especially with the regional stuff and the national stage, what's it like to be around this group, and just what's the process like, and what's the secret to success? And I don't know if you guys heard about it. Reggie made a really good point in one of his interviews this past week. It's just from the second you step on campus, you learn to buy into something greater than yourself, and I think that's been Coach Hastings' biggest secret sauce to our success. From day one, I think that's just kind of what separates us. So clap for Coach, please. As everyone else has said, a lot of thank yous. I can speak for the entire team that we owe many thank yous, starting with administration. We can't do what we've done, be given what we're given, the opportunities that we have, and be treated like we are without them. So thank you. And to the Mav machine as well. We sing You Don't Want to Go to War around the net. Jack kind of yells at me sometimes because I'm off cue. So you might have to teach me a few things, but thank you. You guys are awesome. You make this place special. And then obviously to the fans. Throughout, normal home games here, regional stuff, Frozen Four, it's cool just to see the continued growth of Purple and the overflow of love and support you guys have given us. That red carpet, Hockey Day in Minnesota, those are some of the best hockey moments for all of us we've ever had. So thank you for everything you do for us. It's unbelievable. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. But just from the bottom of our hearts, from all of us guys, thank you for everything. For our seniors, we were told on day one when we came here, leave the program better than when you found it, and I think we can honestly say we did that. But things aren't done for Maverick hockey. I think this year is just another step in the right direction, another stone down in the foundation. But this team's going to do special things next year. So like Coach said, stay on the train, big things are coming. Horns up.
Thanks, Wyatt. We'll start to wrap things up. There's been a lot of thank yous handed out, and I won't go back over some of them, but a few others that I'd like to acknowledge. To the Civic Center management team of Eric Jones and Brian Sather and their entire crew who made this event happen on short notice and make it happen every game night. Thank you. To all the media that covered us, including the MSU reporter, Kevin Dudley of the Mankato Free Press, Radio Mankato, the voice of Maverick Hockey, Mike Sullivan, thank you for promoting our program. And to my Maverick Athletics gang, Tim, PA, Greg, Big Scotty, Rachel, Bailey, and a supporting cast of thousands, thank you for killing it each and every game night and for putting up with some of my crazy last-minute ideas. And the fans, we've talked about it. Those that couldn't be out here, you packed all of our watch parties on campus and throughout the community. And Mike's already talked about the fans that made it out to Boston. As we grow as a hockey program, the growth of our fan base has paralleled it. You've made Maverick hockey the place to be in Mankato on Friday and Saturday nights. You've made this building one of the toughest environments to play in college hockey, so thank you. Mike talked about that red carpet. It was amazing. As they said, the best red carpet arrival in the history of the tournament. So, way to go, Mav fans. And one final thank you. Thank you to this team. Stand up, guys. Thanks for making our dreams come true. Our theme this past year was shipping up to Boston. How about 2 tickets to paradise? Let's see you in Tampa. Thank you. Good night.